Hello, everyone, to another episode of our podcast of Stream Levels. I'm your host, Funk, with my co host, Twinkie here. Um, Today, we're going to be
Hello,
discussing what makes a
everybody.
good community. Um, Sorry about the last, we not having an episode on the last one. Some things came up on our end, my sickness, Twinkie having to move to a different apartment. So, a lot of things going on at the moment, but we're back on schedule as of today. Twinkie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. It's been real tough time, not gonna lie. It's moving back and forth. Just trying to figure out internet, figure out streaming, pretty much everything. It's like all a complete shift.
Hmm. Well, yeah, welcome back everybody to like I said, another episode. So today we're gonna be discussing about what makes a good community. And last week we had, last episode we had Twinkie start off with our topic. So I think today we'll take turns, unless he has something to object to with. I can start it off with my little 2 cents of what I think makes a good community, and we go from there. Yeah, any
I
objections?
mean, you know I have objections. Jeez.
uh,
um. Okay, so we are obviously gonna get into the topic, but before that, we want to kind of take a little step back and let's talk about what's really happened to the past week on Twitch on this whole space. Essentially, this whole online space that we all share and make stuff on. You can tell I'm rusty.
Well, before we
um,
go into it, real quick, I forgot to announce it, but we are actually have a Twitter, YouTube. We're now on Spotify, on Anchor as well, and we also have the Twitch channel. So, we're actually gonna be moving a little bit sooner to the official sites than we originally planned. So, if you haven't already, you can go follow us on the new Twitch page. We're gonna stream it from there. All the podcasts, Stream Levels podcast, I believe is the name of it. I totally forgot.
yep.
Um, but
Stream
that's
levels on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Spotify, and
Spotify, yes.
Anchor FM.
So that's actually pretty exciting. So we got all that going on right now. If you want to check it out, exclamation mark social and exclamation mark audio for those who want to go follow it real quick. Any kind of followers support is greatly appreciated with what we're doing with this podcast. So further ado, all right, Twinkie. Actually, go ahead since you had an objection. Go ahead and start it off.
I mean, not an objection, but basically, also, by the way, I apologize for the echo now that I notice it. But the main topic, kind of that like everybody was going crazy about last week, is the fact that Twitch announced that they're rolling out a new feature. Kind of shadow announced it, though I feel like a few people knew beforehand, though the rest of us were just like, what just happened? Basically, Twitch enabled everybody, if you qualify for the requirements, to be able to do sub only streams on your stream. So essentially, how this works is that it's just an option on your dashboard before you even start the stream. You can switch it to sub only, and you can pick if you want to include moderators and VIPs. Like you could essentially stream to just your subs and not even have moderators or VIPs in there. And this caused a lot of ruckus on
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people going like it's the Twitch is selling out, and they want to turn this into a cam site. It's gonna be used so poorly, everything. So I just, what's your opinion on it, Funk? Let's start at you.
Okay. When I heard about the sub only view option that streamers were able to use on Twitter, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was on Twitter. I'm sorry, not on Twitter, Twitch. I actually thought it wasn't a bad idea. Gives the sub community like a little some extra for them to have. And the reason I say is those who invest in the stream, who want to support the streamer. I don't think Twitch has enough features for the streamers to give to their viewers. The only thing really, they have is the emotes, of course. And then, of course, if you do sub 2 or sub 3, or tier, I should say, tier 2 and 3, you just get one extra emote, which I think is pretty poor. But if you have a sub 1 or sub tier 1, you get all the emotes, whichever is available on the stream. So I thought originally it was a good idea, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it's just going to separate the community. It's going to make those who don't put in money feel like they have to put in money to view it. And my biggest thing was it was just an option. It's not, no one has to use it. No one's forced to use it. It's just there for those who want to, give a little extra to the community, for those who are invested in it compared to those who don't. And unless the streamer itself was using it like almost every day to just subs, then yes, I can definitely see that being an issue. But if you're just doing it like once a week or once a month, just to appreciate those who are, investing, because, those who are being a full time or part time streamer, is thanks to the community that are investing in it, the subs, the donations, stuff like that. So
You think you'd ever use it?
would I ever use it? To be honest, I am not big enough. I don't have enough subs for it to be beneficial, which is a great thing you mentioned. If you have only like 5, I would say anything less than 50 subs, I don't even think it's worth it, to be honest. You're not. It's not like it's gonna help out. No one's gonna really want to just sub just to view your content. People want to view your content first and then sub, but having to force the sub to view is never gonna work. That's
See, this is where Funk and I disagree. I mean, not the force a sub part, okay? I wouldn't force a sub to view
hmm.
this. Nobody needs to pay to see this.
Oh,
Just kidding.
definitely.
No, no.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, I
is.
meant this as in my
Just kidding.
camera, not the podcast. Okay,
Hmm.
watch the
Yeah.
podcast.
Right. 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 Right.
But essentially, I thought about this a lot. Like, how can a streamer on every level use this?
Hmm.
So a streamer on our level, for instance, doesn't have like tens and thousands of subs, or lots and lots of like view counts and everything. But like my main thing was, it's essentially, and that's what our main topic today is as well, is it's all about the community that you're trying to build, the
Hmm.
people that you're trying to have close to you. If there are people in your community that actually do want to pay to get more of an individual access to you, to
Hmm.
get more of like a like an intimate kind of a me time sort of access to you, but at the same time you don't want to exclude all your other subs. So you can be like, okay, fine, so let's have a small sub Q&A. There's only 5 of you. That's fine. Let's have a small campfire kind of a thing. Let's have a chill party. Let's talk it out, and let's just let's be really intimate. Let's get to know each other. That's someone who has like three. Even if you have like three or four subs, and you really 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 love your subs and want to get to know your subs,
Hmm.
then yeah, essentially at that point, I guess it kind of becomes more like a Skype call or like a Discord call.
Right.
But if you wanted to use it even at that number, that's possible. And another way you would use it in that way is like having to give information or wanting to like roll or get some feedback from people,
Hmm.
that you don't want to get from everybody, but you're able to like show your subs, or the people closest to you, which is your mods and VIPs included, if we're including that, um, a side of you that everybody else doesn't get to see.
Hmm.
So you get to have sort of a test stream, which is also an exclusive stream, which then you get to test your stuff out. You get to ask your subs, your VIPs, all the questions you want to ask them, all the feedback you want to get from them, all the questions they want to ask, and you can basically use it as a way to improve your own stream. And maybe you can also use that as a fact that, like, okay, so I have this one stream every week that I use when I tell all my subs about what I'm trying to plan and what I'm trying to do in my stream. And then you say that in your normal stream. And so other people also now have an incentive to sub. They're like, okay, I really like what he does when he does his gameplay streams, when he does this. So maybe I'll check out the sub only stream. Maybe I'll like use my Amazon Prime, or use like one sub for a month and see what that's all about. And try to get more intimate with them. And that's another way you can use it. So I think at the end of the day, like, that was my thing. At the end of the day, it's still something, if used nicely, that can bring you more closer to the people that want to be, around you, that want to actually, support you to the best of their ability.
See, the one thing I think about that is, let's say you do have a smaller sub count and those who are able to go. The thing about that is, I feel like you would have to schedule a time where everyone could then show, because you don't want to do a sub only stream for just only 1-2 person show up. And when you want, like, all, for your case, you want to get as much feedback, you want to have it beneficial to the point where people can show up, give you feedback, enjoy, get to know each other one on one, like one on one, or
I mean, in
5
this
people.
scenario, I'm assuming your subs are your most regular viewers,
I mean, but
which
even then, like, but let's say like that your regular viewers, if you're gonna do it like that, would you do it during your same sub schedule, or not sub same schedule as like you would do a regular stream? Would you do it a
I mean, I
different
guess
time?
that would be something you would have to work out. At the end of the day, I mean, that goes for a normal streamer as well. This is a live platform.
Mm-hmm.
If people can make it, like people don't have to make it, but if people can make it to the live stream, it's a live platform. People
Right.
make it to the live stream. At the end of the day, you're gonna miss out on someone because someone might have an emergency or someone can't make it that day. And I think that's completely like that's the same issue you would have with a normal stream as well. Like when
Okay.
you're picking your normal time.
So to
Uh,
kind of go off of that one. So when you say you get to know them a little bit, play games, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and talk about the terms and services that some publishers or developers, I can't remember which one is, or both, have on.
it's all of them.
It's all no. Well, there are some of them that don't mind it, but let's go into that one. So if you do a sub only, can
So
you play
this
games?
was what
Can
was
you?
his name? I'm forgetting the streamer's name, so I'm not gonna name a name, but it was a League of Legends streamer,
Mm-hmm,
who essentially he saw a little note in Riot's terms and conditions saying that you can that they like a lot of video games will include this in their terms and conditions that you can Goof Guy pointed it out in the chat. It was Grove Score. He's a League of Legends streamer. So anyway, in Riot's terms and conditions, it stated that you can stream their game as long as everybody can watch the game for free. This is something that's a part of their terms and conditions. So he directly tweeted Riot, and I don't think they've really gotten back to him. Or they have. It hasn't been a public thing.
mm-hmm,
But then a lot of people started digging, and a lot of companies, for instance, Bethesda, um, Blizzard, all of Blizzard's games, most companies that have a launcher, like even Fortnite, I think had this. Most companies have this clause in their terms and conditions, which will allow you to stream their games as long as you can't directly monetize the gameplay. Um, so that goes to say that if you're doing a sub only stream that and you're doing a gameplay sub only stream, then you're directly monetizing the gameplay and not everybody has access to it. So in a way, sub only streams are illegal. What happened as kind of a fallout to that is that Grosgore kept doing sub only streams. He's still doing sub only streams until like Riot kind of gets back to him. But like that's the main gray area. And I'm not really that, knowledgeable when it comes to legal course. So what's
mm-hmm.
your opinion on that?
So the fact that you mentioned it kind of got me thinking. So you can some because I know I read Blizzard's, and theirs was they don't mind it as long as the platform itself offers. This is just Blizzard's games, of course, but they also, as long as the platform offers the opportunity for viewers to watch the games for free. If there are some that have a paid version only, then that's fine. But as long as, like I said, there's someone who has that free version of it, or we can watch it for free, then they don't mind. But I have seen a lot. Like I know, what's that one gaming company? That Valve. There is none. You're not allowed to do any of the games. It has to be free. You cannot monetize the gameplay at all. They
So all of Steam?
no, not Steam, just Valve games. Just like I don't know, to
Oh,
be honest.
okay.
Just Valve Games itself said like none of their games you can monetize for it. But there is we're not lawyers. Obviously, don't take our word and be like that's definitely it. You definitely should read it yourself. Come to understanding. If you want to go with it, shoot. If you don't, that's cool too. We like I said, we're not lawyers. But what if you promoted the sub only viewing as in not for gameplay but for the streaming?
That's the sub like conspiracy that's kind of been going around. But
Right.
okay, so like the conspiracy is that Twitch basically knew that you can't obviously monetize gameplay like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole community is kind of thinking that okay, then who is the sub only streaming feature for?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the main user for it? And then you can kind of make a devil's advocate sort of theory that okay, there's certain type of streamers that are on Twitch that don't necessarily rely on gameplay as
Mm-hmm.
their main source of content.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But that makes sense because when I think of it, whenever someone subs to me, that there's subs to the channel, they're subbing because they want to support me, and that's just me because I don't think my gameplay is well enough to the point where someone should pay for it to be honest. So I think when you do a sub, it's for the person who is providing the content. That's what I think. That's why when you sub on Twitch, you get emotes. It's their emotes. The money goes into Twitch and your pocket. The game developers don't see any of that revenue. So for it to be the sub only, then to say, oh, you can't do that because you're doing pay per view on the game. Technically, the money never went to the gamers or the developers in the first place. See what I'm saying? That's probably what Twitch was thinking at first. As far as them keeping the feature, I don't know, to be honest. I do see some questions in chat. I didn't mention it before, but I have enabled it where if you want to ask questions, we might read it during the stream or probably towards the end of it, which is best. If you use the Streamlabs, there's an overlay. You can click on that one, which would then present like a list, and one of them would be to ask a question for us to answer on stream. So if you have that enabled, you can ask us. That way we don't miss it during the chat. We'll scroll back and we can answer most of it towards the end. But
and for mobile users, if it's a mobile extension, it's probably on the top right of your chat. There should be a tiny little icon that you can probably click.
So there you can ask questions. I'll probably look over them, and if I think it's a really good question we should ask during the podcast, I'll go ahead. If not, we'll probably leave it to like a Q&A at the end. That way we don't, we can go through all of them little by little. But that's one little great thing as far as the sub only viewing. Is it for the streamer or are you doing it for the gameplay? And because it's such a vague area and it's not really described in neither the TOS or the actual sub view only situation, I don't think they're gonna get rid of the feature. What do you think?
I mean, there's no reason for them to get rid of it. What my point is that, which you basically touched on, is that you're subbing for the streamer.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, the streamer themselves could be a pro level esports player, but you're still subbing for the streamer. So depends on how the streamer wants to use their sub only stream. If they're using it for their pro esports gameplay, which quite possibly most of Twitch would, or most of Twitch would probably use for gameplay. But whatever they're using it for, like, I think the legality lies at this end on the streamer rather than the platform itself. So I think that's kind of where we kind of end that conversation, because it's, at the end of the day, it's what the streamer wants to do with their sub only stream, what the streamer wants to do with their community. Which somebody in chat pointed out that a really nice way to use it would be for artists, or anyone who kind of creates something themselves in their own community. They could use it for like sub only commissions, sub only sort of like tributes when you're making a dish that a sub suggested based on a recipe. Like, I'm a cooking streamer normally, but you know what? Subs, give me some weird recipes. Let's try a sub only stream with some weird recipes. Like that would totally work. Or you're an artist and you're like, okay, let's goof around, let's draw something weird today. You could even, if you have it set to mature, you could even do some lewd drawings if you have all your subs kind of consented for that.
So would you ever consider using it? I know we touch on me using it, but would you ever use it if you thought it would be worth it, using the sub only?
The only way I currently, in my current like state that I make content, the only kind of use that I thought for it was basically doing like a sit down Q&A sort of a, here's what's going on in my life, guys, sort of a thing with my subs, which is something that I already I'm already like in my subs DMs. Usually I'm talking to them, or they're in like, or like they're talking to me. So usually it's like that for me, that I'm like, if somebody's sub to me, or even if somebody's a VIP or somebody's close to me basically on my channel, usually they're talking to me, personally in some sort of capacity. We also have a sub only chat channel in my Discord, which I should probably use more. But like on a one-to-one basis, I communicate with my subs and my mods and my VIPs quite a lot through the direct messages on through Discord, or it might be Twitter or something. So if I can like basically culminate all of that and then have a stream and talk to them during the stream and go like, okay guys, this is going on in my life, or this is going on in your life, or let's just talk about this, let's talk about that. That's how I see myself using it. The problem with me, but if we're talking me personally, I don't see that as like, me providing anything for them in that.
Mhm.
So if I were to use it, I would have to come up with a specific thing that I can provide to some that someone may want to pay for. So right now, maybe not, but in the future, who knows?
Well, one thing has been confirmed on stream that Twinkie slides in all of his viewers' DMs. Whether
Oh,
you're a
I'm in
sub,
everybody's DMs.
he's all up in there. He wants to get to know you personally, which is actually a good feature for a streamer who wants to get to know the community, which is what the topic is about here. So let's go into a little bit more about what makes a good community. On your opinion, what talk about your community, and we'll do it that way. We'll talk about your community, my community, and then we'll go from there as in what makes a good community. So, what describe your community? Because I know every streamer has a different type of community, different the way they talk to each other, show each other support. So, what is your community like?
I also know a lot of people that just cringe when you say community so much on Twitch because everybody's like community, community, community.
Oh, so what
But
would
I
you
use
word?
it.
What would you
No, no,
then
no. I'm
replace?
fine.
Family?
I was just thinking. That was
You
my
say
personal thought.
your
I was
family,
just
my
thinking of all the
family,
people that I see,
friends.
and yeah, friends, family. I mean, I'm fine with using the words community as well. But
I didn't think that
essentially,
was an issue.
my community is my friends. That's like everybody who's ever wanted to just like come in my stream, hang out. Like my main thing in my Twitch stream description and in pretty much everything I make is that I'm making stuff that I want to make, and I want to kind of make like a creative environment where we discuss things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we discuss some very weird topics. Sometimes we'll just talk about random stuff that's nobody should be talking about. But we
Right.
discuss things and we hang out and we sit down and we relax together. You don't like nobody has to be angry at anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has to sort of like nobody has to like lash out at someone. You don't like you can just come in, you can either listen or you can get part of the conversation. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of the community that I'm trying to build and that I have been trying to build for a while. So I think that's like basically my whole thing about what would make a good community for me is like a group of individuals or people that interact with each other, that are happy to interact with each other, that are constantly interacting with each other.
Mm-hmm.
um and they care about each other's opinion, and they want to like kind of engage in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
As far as my community, I like to think of my community as one of those like we are friends. Obviously we all have our own lives. In real life stuff might happen. I like to think my community is one of those where like no matter what happens, um, good or bad, when you come into the Discord, you can just have a conversation with anyone in there. A kind of environment where it's very chill, very laid back. You just talk about, hey, yo, what's up? How's your day been? Or, oh man, so I accidentally pooped on the floor. Oh man, that's we'll take that away. Or like, yo, I just got a raise at this other job. Like, yo, that's congrats, man. Like just stuff like that. You just talk about anything, and it's just one of those. It's just a very welcome feel to it. I know there are some discords I've been into where a lot of people try to keep it alive by constantly chatting, trying to get people to talk in there. And I think that kind of puts it away, especially if you are one of those who like to ping everybody for every little thing, because it just eventually leads to someone leaving the Discord, or they don't want to return to your stream because you're just constantly hitting them up about something that necessarily isn't something that everyone needs to know about. You know what I mean?
It's funny you bring that up because that was kind of something that I was pondering over past few months, honestly, on and off. But
Mm-hmm.
essentially, I even asked this on Twitter. I asked a lot of people on Twitter that if you could see everybody who either has your Discord muted
Mm-hmm.
or is kind of contemplating leaving your Discord because they're never active there. Like if you could see all that, would you want to see that? Like how much do you care for basically the constant interaction on the happening on your Discord? Which like for streamers, for content creators like us, I think Discord is the main part where we do have our our kind of culmination of all the people that are part of our stream.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, I mean, Twitter is a little bit. We'll touch on Twitter, but mainly Discord is the thing. And I constantly had this fear that like there's so many people on my Discord, but a lot of times, a lot of those people aren't talking either. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's we sometimes will get together and we'll play games, or like somebody will post a meme, or I'll ask a question and people will answer the question, but not a lot. Like we're not always constantly talking. It was kind of fear that I had that maybe it was a self insecurity that maybe they don't want to be here for some reason or something. But no, at the end of the day, people kind of realize, or I made this realization, that it's just a chatting app. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a place where you kind of go, you look at things, you look at people,
Mm-hmm.
you say something, you don't say something, it's fine. Even if they have it muted, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's okay if they want to mute. Like if they don't want to constantly be pinged,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay. That if that's completely fine. Um, I've actually I did get this idea to kind of, if you're concerned about pinging at here or at everyone, I'd had this, like I've seen this be a part of like other people's discords too, where you assign a role which is basically like a notification squad role, or like a people who actually are want to be pinged, and
Mm-hmm.
you like basically people are consensually gonna, oh, sorry about that. I don't know
Somebody
if
ring
you
a
guys
doorbell?
heard that.
Is that a
That
doorbell?
was the doorbell.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
um
Yeah.
you make a role that everybody who wants to be pinged can just consensually be a part of, and then you're
Mhm.
only pinging the people that want to be pinged,
I
and
mean
so you don't
that's
have to at here or at everyone.
that's a good idea actually. I never thought about that because I know the moment I join someone's Discord, the first thing I do is I switch from notifications from all to just on like only mentions. And then if the Discord is one of those, and I'm in one right now, and I'm not leaving
Oh
because I
no.
know there's somebody at the door. But like one thing I've gone away from is like when someone uses the ping. I'm not gonna lie. When you use the ping option in your Discord, and maybe it's just me. I'm sure there's other people feel the way. It can get very annoying, especially if you're using it over and over and over again. And then when you actually go to the message, it's nothing to be like, oh, okay, kind of cool. It's just one of those like, everyone, hey, how y'all doing today? Or hey, what y'all doing right now? Often it's too much. If for me, if you ping, if I think on a Discord, depending on the size of it, a ping should only be something as far as like for streamers, like the streamer that you join the Discord is going live. That's one of them. Or there's an update that you want anyone in the community didn't know, as far as like the stream or something might be happening. There's a poll, something that kind of be like, hey, I need your value or your input. I need you to know this. If you're gonna say, hey,
Like,
how's everyone do today? That's not. I don't think that's needed for a ping in Discord.
don't add everyone to reply to a meme. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
Don't like.
it's you should using it's one of those things like it's a power that you don't want to abuse because people will leave your Discord or mute your whole Discord, which I think muting it. If you were one of those who mute whole Discord, that might be fine because you just don't want to get notifications. But you don't want to have majority of people in your Discord muting your Discord server, because then in that case they literally had to go to your Discord to want to chat and all that stuff. Unless they're not one of those, it will be a dead server. Um, how often is too much? Like I said, it's just one of those. If you ping for every little thing, like I said, if you're doing updates, that's fine. Going live, as long as you're not going live 7 times a day, that's cool too. Um, like if you need some input, like I know in Twinkie's Discord, he'd be asking people to put their input on a poll. That's fine. But just being like at everyone, hey, look at this picture, or at everyone, hey, how y'all doing today? At everyone, I just had burrito. What y'all eat for dinner? Like that's unnecessary. Like you don't need to ping that much. Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility. That's what Blood in Chat said. That's a great example for something that you know may not be looked that way. It really is something that can get annoying very quick. Um, I don't know if you have any stories when it comes to people on your Discord as far as using the ping too much, or how do you feel about using the everyone or the at here in your Discord?
I try to avoid it as much as I can. Like even like my add everyone, I'll only add everyone if it's an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like a literal thing that, guys, this is happening to the stream, or
Mm-hmm.
guys, this is something that I'm making, or this is something that I'm releasing, that's an add everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere else, if like anywhere else to even like get feedback on a normal channel and I want everyone to see it,
Mm-hmm.
I'll either not add anyone or I'll add here. I'll do the people that are online. Okay, fine, you guys can get it. And then even that, like at here, I think this includes people that have it set to like do not disturb. So okay, then like I'll stick to at here. Like for instance, if we do a movie night, that's not something that's important, but
Mm-hmm.
I might do an at here on there. So like if you guys are on and you guys want to watch a movie, let's okay, we're watching a movie, come on by. Um, but I won't like I try to like I avoid at everyone by the plague. I might actually implement the whole notification squad thing because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a good like I think that's a good way to kind of put it aside where you can even have separate roles to that. Okay, like these people are the movie night role. So if you have a movie night, you can ping these people. These
Right.
people are the stream notification role. Just make me six only at the stream notification people.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, it's one of those. If you have your own Discord, you wanna you wanna having a Discord can be very beneficial to a streamer. It gives the viewers a chance to talk to you directly off stream instead of doing it on the DMs or Twitter, Instagram. It's just another little area for people to get together, create bonds with other streamers as well. It's like a nice one, and you don't want to abuse it with little things that, or yeah, little things that can get on people's nerves where they want to mute it or eventually leave the Discord. I think the biggest thing you want to do is everyone who joins the Discord, you want to keep them in the Discord. Whether they talk a lot, you want to just keep them in there because eventually they might come back and they say, "Hey, how y'all doing?" But the moment they leave, it's a slight chance they'll ever come back. So that's how I see it as far as my community on Discord. We don't. I'll keep it real. We don't talk every day. We don't talk all day. There might be a few messages here and there, and that's it. But I enjoy that because when I work, I can't be on my phone. When other people work, I'm sure they can't be on the phone. But just having a space where if you want to talk to somebody and just go how your day was or want to play a game, see if anyone's down, I feel like that's the importance of the Discord, especially mine. So that's how I view mine.
So speaking, bringing it back to like obviously we're on Discord as a topic, but bringing it back to community as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
How close do you think a streamer or a content creator should be to the people to the people in their community? Like how like for instance I was talking about how I'm usually,
Mm-hmm.
DMing a lot of people in my community. Um
I think when a streamer in a community this is a tough one. Also, okay, for my instance, anyone in my community can hit me up and I'll respond relatively soon. That's how close I am to the community that I'm involved in. If you say something on Discord, I will 9 times out of 10 I'll read it that day. If you send me a DM, I will read it probably within a couple hours. If not within a couple hours, I know if in fact minutes because I get every notification that comes to my phone, especially my Discord. But I'm one of those where if I am in a position where I can in fact influence someone's life or bring good entertainment or like cheer somebody up, I want to be able to be reached, within minutes or hours at the moment if I'm busy. I feel like as a content creator, if you have a community, I relatively think you should be close. You don't have to be like as close to me where you respond to every message that comes in, but just enough to where you know what's going on within your community. I've been in some communities where I've never seen the person who owns it talk, or if there's multiple, I've never seen one of them talk at all. Like they're just not even connected at all, and it kind of seems like the server or the communities is there for other people. When in fact most people join a community or want to join your community is for you. So you not being present in a community won't benefit at all. I mean that's how I see it as far as my community and how I think people should be as close. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I suppose that yeah, you essentially want to be there as far as much as the other person wants to interact.
Right.
What I was kind of leaning with this like this question was basically how much do you let the viewers into your own life though? How much do you let the people into your own life? Like, okay, so I'm going out for pizza. Do I tell my Discord about it? And I just got engaged. I'm meeting this new girl. Do I freaking tell my whole Discord about it? Like, how much do you want to share, or how much do you want to pry into their personal life? Like, they're you know
Ah,
they they're going through something.
that this question probably I've gotten in trouble with my family itself, but I think it's one of those if it's worth mentioning to someone, then you should do it. If you think you going out and getting some pizza is worth mentioning to your community, then go right ahead. I like to think of it as if it's something that is, I wouldn't say major because it kind of can vary, but I feel like if I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna go buy a car, or like I would want to let the community know, hey, there's a big thing going on, or um, of course, no stream today, obviously, stuff like that. It's kind of tough, really. It's just what you think is worth sharing. I don't ask, as far as like my community, I don't ask them to tell me personal stuff because I don't want to seem like that person who's just like, you have to tell me something right off the bat. Because you might be one of those people who don't open up very easily, and then me pressuring you to tell me something personal can just seem like a very bad thing. So I don't ever force anyone saying in person. You can literally tell me nothing about you, and I can just talk about how I just ate dinner, or I'm buying this, I'm going to this place. I'm totally fine with that. Like I said, I just don't want to force it. I don't want to seem like joining my community, you have to give up something. You're in my community, you're there because you're either chill, you like what I bring, or you want to meet some new people or some new friends, or you might be a streamer who wants some advice on how I do my streams, like stuff like that. But as far as personal stuff, you never have to force, you never have to say anything personal. Shoot, and you can, to be honest, if you tell me something personal, you could be lying, but I'm always going to think, first thing that comes to mind is, oh wow, this person so and so, or this person went to go do so and so. Like, if you want to have that other life, I will never think to myself, oh, this person's lying. There's no way you can be doing that. I'm never going to say that. So that's how I see as far as when
Totally
people
not
share.
getting 10 pizzas right now.
I'm buying 10 pizzas. I have like a huge party coming out. I'll be like, yo, man, that sounds dope. Maybe next time I'll come by. If be like, yeah, come by. Next time I show up and it's just one person there, the first thing I'm not gonna think of is, oh man, this guy had to lie just to try to get me out there. I'll be like, shoot, we got pizza. What's next? Skydiving on Mars was one of the people in chat said, hey, that sounds cool. If you can do that, go right ahead. I'm not gonna say like, hey, who can't do that? Who am I to tell me you're lying? Like, I don't even know you. So that's how I see it, at least.
I think so basically what I'm gonna summarize what you just said is that you in your I don't know, your platform, I don't know what to call this, on your stage,
Oh, you
is
don't say community no more?
you're the most vulnerable towards your own community, but you don't expect any vulnerability back.
What do you mean by
And
vulnerable?
like you're putting your kind
Yourself
of
out there. Okay.
you're putting yourself out there, you're
Okay.
putting information about yourself out
Yeah.
there, you're kind of open to that vulnerability. And I think just generally being a content creator of some sort, you are putting yourself out there in a sort of vulnerable, like you have to allow yourself to be open to people, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the only way you're going to get people that kind of feel a connection with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be that guy that doesn't want to open up to anybody, like
Mm-hmm.
I've actually found solace in my stream so many times that like stuff that I'm really kind of anxious talking about to even friends, or
Mm-hmm.
to my family, to anyone. I'm just like, I'll open up a camera and I'll be playing a video game. I'll talk about, okay, so guys, this has been happening and this is very tough right now. But like
Mm-hmm.
I found solace in that. So like I'm fine with being sort of that kind of, I don't know, it's something about the internet where there's a disconnect,
Mm-hmm.
that that the other person can't really help or can't really directly physically affect you in any way, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time they can be emotionally very very supportive. And so I kind of enjoy, being a little bit vulnerable in front of my community, allowing my
Mm-hmm.
community to know that okay, this stuff goes in my mind. When I'm struggling, I'm struggling because of this, I'm struggling because of that.
Right.
At the same time, I also, again, I don't expect my community to actually like reach out and like say something, but I say that the door is open. It goes
Mm-hmm.
both ways. If you are ever hurting, if you ever need to reach out, if you ever need to DM me, go right ahead. I will. Sometimes I'm bad at replying because of my own kind of, I'm busy or like I have insecurities or anything, but I always try to get there.
Mm-hmm.
That also kind of, but then again, that also opens you up to, some, how close do you want the community to get to you? Like how do they end up thinking that okay, they have this sort of power on you, that like they're gonna say something and you have to do it, or your entire life should be based on that public opinion. Like that ends up happening in cases where viewers think that they kind of own the streamer, that that because I'm sub to you, because I'm paying you for this, that whatever you do, whatever content you make,
Mhm.
when you wake up, when you go to sleep, I control that because I'm paying to you, because I'm subbing to you to watch your stream. That also ends up happening. um
So
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 like I
so do you think that you should be a good role model though? Because you're saying like,
I
because like it, if you put yourself out there and all the stuff like you're doing, and then I don't really know if it kind of relates to it, but would you have to say a streamer has to be a good role model?
I think yes. I mean, streamer, like who you are on camera reflects to people that like this is okay in society. This guy is clearly has an audience on camera. It's
Mm-hmm.
doing something right. So that's you're already a role. We're called influencers for a reason. It's because you influence people's actions. You influence what someone buys. You also influence how racist someone is towards somebody else, or how what kind of language they use towards someone else. Like you influence what people stigmatize and what people normalize in society.
Mm-hmm.
You're like the way you're gonna act on screen is how your community is gonna go and then act towards other streamers or other people in general. um, and so I think yes, you have to be a role model, but you like you have to essentially like you have to open yourself up. The only way you're going to make a connection with someone like IRL anywhere is if you're willing to open up a little bit.
So
It
would you
comes very
say?
difficult. Like,
So would you say
hmm?
then that like, because like if you say that the streamer has to be a good role model, and we're gonna kind of relate this to the topic of today. So does the streamer make the community a good one? The like, because we're talking about what makes a community, what makes a good community. Is it all rely on the streamer? Does the streamer have to set the rules and make sure everything follows that, or is it the people that you kind of surround yourself with? Like, because we're trying to go back to what makes a good community. Is it all depending on the streamer? Like the streamer's one that like has to set everything on stone, or is it just like the people you let into your life? Does that make the community? You see what I'm saying?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. So
um
I like everyone to think about this, even those who are streaming right now in chat. Me, Twinkie, are you the one that makes the community good, or is it the people you let into community? Like it can kind of go hand in hand, but are you saying like for streamers, are you the one that sets the rules that this is what I want in my community? Does that make it good, or is it one of those, hey, I like how you open yourself up to everybody, and then the people you let in, does that make a good community? Because it's not just you, it's whoever's in the community. Not everyone will agree with what you have, not everyone will like what you bring to the table, but will that make a good community?
I mean, you totally stumped me there, but
Oh, bonus points, bonus points, bonus points.
yeah, 1 point to Funk. um so what makes a good community in terms of like is streamer, like as a content creator, you want everybody there. Like, not
Hmm.
gonna lie, even if you say that no, I don't want this kind of person there, I don't want that kind of person there, which you obviously don't, but like you want a lot, like you want the most people to come into and see your stuff.
Hmm.
And then what they take away from there, if they're if they want to be trolly and they just kind of want to piss you off for a little bit and they
Hmm.
take that away, that's fine. But you kind of want everybody in. So I mean, I'm unsure because by the plot that I'm building, it's essentially that the people who come in will decide what the community is like, because
Hmm.
you're basically opening every avenue for everyone. But I think that it should end up being on you, because you're the main authority there who gets to decide who stays or who leaves. And I guess this kind of reminds me of a little while ago, where kind of when I first started out streaming, like 2 or 3 months into it, there was someone in my community who was like on the Discord, who was like they were kind of bullying other people on the Discord, or they would be like really kind of like, for it to use the word toxic
Hmm.
towards a lot of other people in my Discord. And every time this other person would talk, they would be like, oh my god, he pisses me off so much, and this and that and this and that. And every time you would tell them something about it, they would be like, okay, but I'm also like, I'm dealing with this, and I'm having these thoughts, I'm going through this and this. And I'm like, that's okay. you have an excuse for how you act. So no, sorry, you have a
Oh,
reason for how
you have an
you have a
excuse.
reason for how you act. You don't have an excuse. That doesn't excuse the way you behave. You can
Mm-hmm.
have a reason. You can be dealing with stuff in your life, but
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't excuse. And at the end, like, I had to learn this very hard, that I didn't want to ban this person. I didn't want this person to leave, because like that's one person that I've opened myself up to that's
Mm-hmm.
leaving. But I had to, at the end of the day, say that, okay, if you're hostile towards everybody in this community, then I don't think you have to be here. And then they left, and yeah, then we are where we are. But that's the thing. Like, I think at the end of the day, you're the authority. You form the bubble that everybody has to get inside. And, you have to protect. If you're gonna be vulnerable and you're gonna make friends and an online family with a bunch of people,
Right.
then it's up to you to protect that family.
Mm-hmm. Anatolia, says in chat, a good community can be a supportive community. A good community can be a fun community. A community can be a serious community. It's up to the members to decide to add to the communities they're part of. But yet the leader, or in this case would be the content creator, sets the rules and boundaries. And what Twinkie mentioned is, he has people in Discord, and at one point he said that you can kind of bullying everyone else, and you have that talk with the person privately, saying, "Hey, I see what's going on. Like, I understand why you're doing it, but it's not something I want to happen in my community." So, and eventually that person left. And it kind of leads to like when you should like, because I think of it as myself, like one thing I'm really bad at is addressing issues that happen in Discord. I always think to myself, it's just joking. It's just a joke, stuff like that. But it can actually lead to toxicity, and there will people who would be framed from wanting to be in a Discord because they see everyone's different, they have different views. But as long as you address it and you have a obviously you want community to have an open mind to criticism. You don't want to make it seem like you're always the issue, but it's just one of those things you can learn as you go through, is when to talk to someone who's doing something they shouldn't do in the Discord, how to approach them, and how to avoid that in the future. You know what I mean? So I think that's parts that in my opinion, that's what makes a good community. Knowing what the people like, being active in community, and addressing issues in a positive criticism where the other person doesn't feel like they're being attacked, or something they could possibly learn from and prevent to happen in the future. I think that's probably something that leads to a good community.
Mm-hmm. Um, so I kind of want to take a step back here, kind of sort of change the pivot that we're taking.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think by having the influential role that you have in your community, by having this kind of leader figure role, or
Mm-hmm.
this kind of person who sets the rule, are you in a way taking advantage of the people in your community? Do you think that in a way that you're actually, you're basically forcing people into something that they might not want to be a part of normally? um like,
Mm-hmm.
could you in a way, be like, I know this sounds very weird,
Right. I'm trying. I'm
but
trying to.
believe me, I have a point. um, you you're forcing people into, supporting you, and like you're influencing people, or you're in a way manipulating people to be there, to be a part of this, like, this whole idea that doesn't actually, like, it's just a bunch of people talking online, it's not actually a thing.
I
Like,
think.
what's your opinion on that?
I think as far as like manipulating people to be there, um, I don't actually promote my Discord because I don't want to. I don't want to kind of just throw that. I always be like, yo, join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord. It's just I have it on a timer. I'll be like, hey, just say like, hey, if you want to join the Discord, you can. If you're in the Discord, nothing in there says what you need to do. Literally, there's nothing other than don't be rude, no sexist remarks, and just have a good time. Oh, don't I have a rule on there: never make fun of Queen, my fiance. That's literally a rule itself, and no one dares to do that. Not like
Do you follow that rule, Funk?
I follow it to the T. I follow it to the T, but it's just I don't know. It's a kind of tough question, but I don't think if if you're in if you're in the Discord or you're in their stream, or you're just in somewhat way of being able to support somebody, you should never throw it onto the viewer or the regular that they need to be there or have to do this to support you. I subs, gift subs, donate, need to show up, need to talk. Like you should never force anything because I feel like as a content creator, that I mean that's your title, content creator. You can't leave that title to your viewers. Yeah, I have the content here, but I need you, the viewer, to be there so I can be creative. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. So with the title, it comes with the responsibility of being able to, I guess you could say persuade is not manipulate, but persuade people to come back, be in the Discord, invest in you, and such and such. But as far as like being manipulative, nah, I don't. Anytime I see something like that where someone's forcing someone to do something, that don't fly with me. I like no one forcing me to do anything. If I want to do it, I'll do it. If I don't do that peer pressure, I don't do that. Oh, you know, you can talk crap all you want, but at the end of the day, if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. Plain and simple.
So for me as a viewer, if I'm joining your Discord, if I'm joining any Discord,
Hmm.
what should basically my expectation be to have the best time there? Like if I'm gonna put in the time to actually be a part of this community's Discord and
Hmm.
get really in there, like what should be my expectation? Like should I be expecting, okay, I shouldn't go in here and talk about this stuff because this one person's gonna get pissed off if I talk about this, but then this other person talks like that, like should we have these sort of expectations?
I think if you have an expectation where everyone who comes in can only talk about this, and this, it's not a community. If anything, that sounds like communism. But like if they're coming in and the ladies be like, okay, I can't talk about this, I can't talk about this because it's gonna offend this, it's gonna offend this. At that point, it's gonna be to the point where you can only say, hey, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? I'm good, and that's a conversation because something could fly the other way. I just think if when you say something, try to think of it the other person who's reading it. Could this be any way like messed up or offensive to that person? No, say it. And if it and I want people to be like, oh, I don't want you to say like I don't want you to. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't. I just don't think being able to tell someone what they need to say shouldn't say. You join the Discord, it's mainly just to get along with other people. So you want to leave like the controversial stuff at the door. Leave that. Don't bring it in. Now, if you want to talk about it, then I think you should probably message someone in a mod role or a manager role in the Discord or the owner of the Discord and ask them, hey, I want to ask the Discord this. It would be okay. That way, you as the person who oversees everything could be like, I think that's a good. You can talk about that. I don't think there's gonna be issues, and there is. I'll make sure that everyone be a responsible adult and talk about it. Or I think no, because I think it's very controversial, and I can think it can come off the wrong way, and everything could just fly off the handle, and I don't think it'd be something positive. I think you should have that kind of mindset when going into Discord, especially mine. There's no. I mean, obviously you don't want to talk about politics, religion, and stuff like that. That obviously people feel strong about, but at the end of the day, if you come in, you want to talk about something, go right ahead. I have a part in Discord where if you wanted the discussion tab, where if you want to talk about something that can be, right or wrong kind of thing, or you have your views and someone else's views, you talking in there. But I just want to keep everyone in there reminded that it is a discussion. I don't want anyone to judge anyone off of that because the moment I see that and it's gonna be like that, I take it out. I leave it like that. It's one of those like we're all grown adults. We all know what to say and what not to say to somebody, and there's no need for name calling, being ugly to someone. There's no need for that. But we've been talking a good bit about my community. What should people expect when they join your Discord, your community? Are they forced to say something, or like are they forced to only talk about this, or how is it in your community?
I mean, for every game, for everything I create, for every kind of content I create, I have the main rules, which are basically don't. The main thing is don't be an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't be the things I say. Like every time I start a chat, don't be racist, sexist, don't be homophobic, don't be transphobic, don't be ignorant towards anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main thing. Don't be ignorant towards another person's belief, another person's anything. Um, that's what like if you're coming in my Discord, then yeah, you can joke around as much as you want. But if
Mm-hmm.
somebody's getting uneasy because of you joking around, then you have to stop. Like it has to end. Like you can't, like I might sound tough when I say that, but if you're offending someone or getting on nerve or you're making somebody feel insecure, then you're essentially telling that other person that you don't really care about what they feel.
Right.
So like I would rather you say stuff that everybody agrees with, or you kind of just find your limits with people. I won't say that don't joke about stuff, don't talk about stuff, but see your limits with people, see test, find out other people, like get to know people, get
Mhm.
to know who's there and who isn't there. That's my main thing, like my main goal with my Discord, essentially, and pretty much anywhere where I interact with people, or I have a group of people sort of interacting with me, is that I want to build, like, I want it to feel like we're all friends and we can all hang out.
Right.
um but at the same time, if it's my Discord and it's my stream community, I'm also using it as a way to kind of push out my content to everybody who wants it. So like the way I structure my Discord is, for if I have something that I'm creating that I want to show people,
Mhm.
that's the main sort of a hub to show that, to distribute that towards people. The community part is then the discussion that follows after that. So anything, um so basically all these people are, like, all the people in my, especially my Discord, all the people are people. I just saw something in chat, that's why it cracked me up. But all the people in my Discord are then the people that I trust
Mhm.
to kind of see all sides of me, and then I can, like, and that's the main expectation that they should have as well, where they should be able to trust that all the people in this Discord
Mhm.
can kind of be open and, again, vulnerable with each other. um and that's what my main thing with Discord is, that we're a community, we want to be friends. You want to come in, you can chill here, you can, like that. Like when I started streaming, that's what my main thing is. Like, there's not a lot of places I can go on the internet where I can just hang out and chill and kind of just relax. And I want to build that community where you can just hang out and chill and just relax. Like, you don't have to participate if you don't want to participate. But
Right.
just the fact that you're there, and you're, even if you're like liking something, you're not even liking something, you're there, you see stuff. That's completely fine towards me. Like, there's no expectation for you to be involved in any capacity. Like, you don't have to be involved in any way.
Right. So they have what we think makes a good community, something where everyone can express themselves without feeling attacked. The content creator is active in their community. I think that's one of the things we both can agree on that will make a good community. And also the rules and the people you allow within your community is something. If you haven't thought about, just something you should is, what do you want your community to be like? Do you only let those in your community, or do you have those set rules that everyone has to follow? Is that the kind of community you want? That all these things can make a good community. It can also be the downfall if you have too many rules, or you're way too open who comes in and out, or you just don't address any issues. Um, there is a question that I want to redeem right now, actually, from Goof Guy himself. How does one improve the relationship for your current community other than usual giveaways for subscribers and Discord only chat role and channel? Which I think is actually a good question for those who
What was
want
the
to.
question? How do you improve the relationship between your community?
Yeah, so how do you improve the relationship with your current community other than usual giveaways for subscribers and Discord only chat role and channel? I think what he's trying to say is, I want to, obviously, I want to improve my relationship with my community, but I don't know how to do it. I know one of the things is you can do giveaways, because who wouldn't want to have a chance to win free things, or give somebody a certain role, or if you're a subscriber, you get like that, like you said, the chat role or in a channel. What are other ways for people or streamers or just anyone in general who wants to improve their relationship with the community other than giveaways and specific only chat role and channel? I think the biggest thing obviously is just being there, being active in community. If you want to improve, get to know your community, get to know people. If you have a small community, here we go, if you have a small community, there is no excuse why you shouldn't know a little bit about everyone in your community. If you have a bigger community, yes, a little bit harder. I can't vouch for how to improve a big community. Obviously, I don't think I'm at that point where I have a huge community, but If
You
you
got it. You got a dazzling community. Don't sell yourself short.
dazzling. Well, and if that's the case, if you for every person that comes in Discord, if you get to know them a little bit, that's how you improve your relationship with your current community. I have been complimented, no pat on the shoulders on that, but most people that come in, I try to figure out a little bit something about that one person. It's one fact that if I could try to figure out whether it's when we met, something that happened in your life. If I just know one thing, I feel like I'm a little bit closer. And then that's how you kind of go off of things. Like if someone came in, say something, I haven't seen him in a while, come back. Oh yeah, I remember you. You were the person with the so and so. I feel like that reflects good because not only do you make that person feel like they're worth something, but it shows value that your community is there for everyone, where everyone is accepted, and they will treat you like a friend. See what I'm saying? So I think in one way, just try to get to know a little bit, not a lot. Don't try to dig. Don't try to go on Facebook or Twitter trying to find some facts to say, oh, I see you like this. No, just talk to them. That's all. Just talk to every person. Try to know a little bit about them.
I definitely did find funk on Facebook after 2 weeks after I was in his stream. But anyways, I think what his main concern is, how do I keep the people that are there engaged? My answer to that is you don't. The people who are there have already agreed that they want to be engaged, that they're there because they're already engaged, that they've seen your stream, they've seen this stuff that you make,
Mm-hmm.
and they've decided, okay, I want to be in this person's Discord because because they're the person that that their content, are like, I want to get to know them more, so they're that engagement, that's already done. If you're talking like, if you're talking like, how do I keep them coming back, or how do I start them to engage more, even more, have more input, ask them questions, tell them stuff that that you want to know about them, or that you want to share with them. Again, it goes back to the vulnerability. What I myself do is, I'll sometimes, sometimes I'm just feeling like, this person's been part of my community for this amount of time, and I've talked to them for a bit, or if I haven't talked, kind of hit them up with a DM, to like, how you doing, what's up, haven't heard from you in a while, because again, everyone in my Discord, I'm friends with this person. um or in the Discord publicly, I made this channel called the appreciation channel, where if I think somebody in the community is someone that I really, really appreciate, because even if they just simply exist, like, they don't say anything, they don't do anything, but they're in every stream, they're having a really good time, they're doing all that. I write a little bit, like, I want to tell everyone how really, really appreciate this person, because they're always here, they're always helping us out,
Mm-hmm.
they're not, even if they're not talking all that much on Discord or on stream, like, they're always, they're always dropping bits, or they're always there to with the emotes, or they're requesting songs, just like, just the small things. And you want to, and again, you're to engage them, you're basically reiterating what has made them come to you, reiterating this, that yes, you appreciate, like, every time somebody follows, or every time somebody subs, you say, thank you for the sub, thank you for the follow. We all do it. You're essentially reiterating that in that moment, that yes, thank you so much for giving me this precious time that you have in your day, that you could have been spending doing whatever that you wanted to do. You could have been doing anything else, but you're spending that time with me. You've already agreed to be a part of my community, to spend a little amount of your data that you have on Discord on me. So thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for that. Like, if you keep reiterating that, people understand that yes, this person really cares, so I am already engaged, I'm already here for this person.
Mm-hmm.
What I do want to get into a little bit of negative side of that, something that can lead to is entitlement, that the viewers are think, or like anybody, everybody in your community thinks they're entitled to whatever you make. They're entitled to having your emotes, they're entitled to having access to a section of the Discord, or they're entitled to become a mod. Like, I've been here for 6 months, how dare you not make me mod, whereas this guy who was just here a week, and you modded him right away because he asked. Like, you don't want to lead it into entitled, like, you don't want someone, like, you give away as much as, like, as much as you can give away. Don't don't like get threatened when people feel like that they deserve a giveaway, or they deserve a mod, or they deserve a VIP. You don't want to do that. Like, at the and this gets, like, this, even if we're talking like bigger streamers, not like not us, not you and me, like any stream community you go to, like a lot of people feel like they're entitled to playing with the streamer, or they're entitled to a stream today and the streamer canceled. They're like, this streamer isn't great, he doesn't care about us because he like we were gonna get a stream today, even though the streamer might not have said anything. We were gonna get a stream today. He was supposed to stream every single day, 24/7. Like, how come they're not here?
Mm-hmm.
How come you don't appreciate us? Like, you don't want to get into that mindset where you're just like, because at the end of the day, I'm just a dude in my bedroom, Funk's just a dude in his apartment. Like, we're just people on the internet, we're just normal ass people, just putting ourselves out there. And you have to keep that in mind, that behind the whole computer, behind the whole microphones and webcams and anything, it's real people that decide to hit the go live button, or decide to record themselves and put their tweets out, or post stuff on YouTube or edit stuff. Like, these people, like, we voluntarily decide to do this. Nobody asked us to do this. Nobody, a lot of people didn't want us to do this when we started. Like, a lot of people like, you're stupid, like, this, what you're doing, this is stupid, you're wasting your time, you could go be studying calculus or something. But we decide to do it. So if I'm like, that's the thing, when you're a child, like, when everybody goes through this, like, you're thinking of cleaning your room, but then your mom comes in and she said clean your rooms, and then you're like, okay, I don't want to clean my room anymore. Like, I was gonna do it anyway, but because you told me to do it, now I don't want to do it. It feels the same way when, if somebody's like, you're already putting in all the effort that you're putting in making the best damn stuff that you want to make, and then somebody's just like, oh my god, you didn't stream on Tuesday, and you said you were going to stream on Tuesday. I'm like, I know I said it, I was going to stream on Tuesday, but I used that time to get myself together so I could make even better streams the next
Mm-hmm.
day. Or I said there was going to be a giveaway next month, but like, it wasn't possible, but I'm going to make the best damn stuff, and we'll have another giveaway at some point in the future. Like, don't be like, that's like, community goes two ways, right? We've been talking the streamer side this whole time. um I'll let Font talk in a minute, guys. we were talking we were talking the
It
streamer
seems like
side.
this is a topic that I mean, like, it seems like something that's happened where, whether you've seen as a viewer or a streamer, where someone feels entitled to, because I subbed or because I show up, you need to give me, or show me this. Is that it, from what you're describing? Have you seen it personally, like with your own two eyes, or has it happened to you where like someone feels they're entitled because they did so and so?
Like, what I was trying to come to basically is that community goes two ways, right? There's the effort that the streamer is putting in, which is like, setting the rules, setting the environment, how
Mm-hmm.
much you interact with people, all of that. But then there's a little bit of responsibility on everyone who's in the community as well, to kind of decide, like, that's what makes a good community. If the people that are in the community as well, they decide that how they want to behave. If you want to be hostile towards everybody in the community, if you want to just tell people, no, my opinion is the best opinion, your opinion doesn't freaking matter, because I like this game, or I like this person, or I like this, and this is decree, and this is all I'm going to talk about, and you're not opening up to people, that's a thing that that's on you at the end. That's not on the streamer to kind of purge their community. That's completely on you. Like, recognize the signs, recognize the whole conversation, and like read the room when you kind of enter a room.
Mm-hmm.
uh so, and yeah, if you're talking about like things happen, there's a few things that have happened. Fun.
I think
Like,
that would be a good little topic to have for our next episode, as far as we can call it the stream etiquette, as far as like for viewers and streamers, what or our opinion is what, like I said, our opinion of what it is when going to the stream, what I feel like you shouldn't do, as far as, or streamers, is being entitled could be one of them. You don't want to, you come into somebody's stream, you should never feel like you're entitled for whatever. You show up in the stream, you're either there for the streamer, whatever they're playing or creating, obviously because they're content creators, or you're out. Simple as that. And then you, like, one of those things. But I feel like that's something we could probably discuss a little bit more, because we don't want to go too far away from the topic of the community. Like I said, we want to say something for other episodes as well. And it seems like Twinkie has a lot to say on this one, so you definitely want to be there for that. But I think we're at a point right now where we'll probably take any questions in chat right now. If you have anything, or if you want to redeem some questions, we're going to read that towards the end of it. I do see being a regular dating. Let's see. Someone in chat, Anna Tori says, "I hope you guys realize I'm only joking when I comment on the lack of streams. It's not meant to sound like I'm expecting it or entitled. See, that's another thing because we know you more than if you was just a stranger or just in fact you're a regular. We understand that when you come up or like we say, hey, where's the stream? There's no stream. Oh wow, good streamer. Like we understand you're joking, but someone who's coming in who we don't know personally comes in. Oh, you said there's gonna be a stream on Thursday. There was no stream on Thursday. What's up, man? What happened? It will feel a bit different. It's like, yo, I have stuff in real life that happened. Something came up. I have to either move the stream or just cancel for today. This is okay. For someone who is new and comes and say to stuff, we're probably not gonna start off on a good foot. That simple as that. You don't want to come in and start demanding something right away when we don't know. If I don't know you, like I said, if I don't know a fact about you, I don't feel like I know you well enough to where you can comment something like that. Obviously I'm a very easygoing guy, but if you coming in and saying something like that, I'm gonna tell you, hey, take 2 steps back and realize where you at right now, because you in my neck of the woods right now. That's not how it's gonna fly right now. So I'm gonna need you to relax. I need to know you first, because if I know you're joking, that's cool. If I don't know you're joking, we gonna have some problems. But that's just me though. I don't know about you, Twinkie, but that's how I feel. Like if I know you and you say something like that, then it's fine.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it goes with the etiquette of the stream, and you're like, we need to talk about like stream etiquettes and like how people should generally behave in an online environment. Is like, what you should say, what you shouldn't say, and all that stuff. I definitely think we should do a future episode on this, but this, as you said, this would be a nice place to end this, where we basically just summarize what a good community is, and a good community is both the streamer being their best selves and being the best influence that they can be for the community, or being making the environment that they want to create for everybody, but then also the viewers also kind of adhering to the rules and the environment that the streamer wants to set for everybody.
Well, yeah.
And yeah,
Let's go and summarize one more time. So what we think makes a good community. Content creator is active in the community's roles. You have rules that you're bound by what you want to expect to see in your Discord. And another thing is being able to communicate, being able to have everyone, agree on the same page when, as far as the streamer and the viewer, what stuff like that, what to expect, things that happen, the pros and cons and all that good stuff. I think those things, if you really break it down and look into it, those make a good community.
I think Medicinal Funk pointed out in the chat, as y'all being streamers though, you have to nip stuff in the butt early if someone is doing something you don't like, whether they're new to the community or not. I think, yeah, that's like, you have to be open with how you expect people to be, and you have to talk to your mods as well about this. If you have mods in your community, that you have to kind of approach people and talk through with them, that if something doesn't come off right, you tell them that, no, please don't talk like that towards that person, or you're making someone uneasy. Like, be open about things. Tell people openly that this is not okay. And if you can do that, then you can very easily create a good environment for everybody, because that's your end goal. You want to make a good environment for everybody.
Right. Yeah. It's like I said, like they kind of plays into the rules. When you have rules and someone's breaking them, or like they're not following it right, you want to go ahead and let them know, not in like a harsh way, but hey, man, that I know you're new to the community, but that's not something we kind of like have said or do within the community. So if you can please like refrain from doing that here, I would appreciate it. Obviously you want to say it in a nice way. You don't want to just straight up come at them at their next time, but hey, if you do that again, I'm banning you. But it's just one of the things you just want to go ahead and address it early, so that way you can keep the community you have, and everyone who was in it already see that you want to share those rules and ideals of what you want to be around, especially you and everyone in your community.
So with that being said, I think that would be a good place for us to kind of end this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's before we actually the entire podcast, I do want to iterate once more. So the podcast, we now have a YouTube channel. We also have a Twitter channel. We're at Stream Levels on Twitter, or is it Stream Levels Podcast? I'm not sure. It's at Stream Level. It's at Stream Levels on Twitter. We are on also Spotify. If you're someone who likes to listen to podcasts on Spotify, we are also now on Spotify. We are also on Anchor FM. And to catch the episode after it's live on YouTube, we also have a YouTube channel that you can go and kind of subscribe to or look at all those feeds um, after the fact, or if you're listening on audio right now, this is probably a place where you're listening to them on.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from this, Funk, do you have anything you would like to plug?
I've already plugged in. If for those who are in chat right now, if you want to, perhaps if you want to hear it again or you want to see it, or like I said, we're on Spotify, we're on Anchor. We do have our social. We have the Twitter that's up and running. If you want to go and follow that real quick, we appreciate it. We also have a YouTube for those who want to share the video. We are going to do this live every week on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know what time that is in Twinkie's area. Maybe I should be a
I
little
will
bit
also
more.
say there is also a Twitch channel
Oh yeah,
for levels.
I don't, are we gonna start it on the Twitch channel next time or?
That's what I'm saying. We won't. We'll still be on this channel for I think a 1 or 2 more weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then so there is a Twitch channel, and if you want to keep up with the podcast, be sure to check that out as well and follow over there, because this eventually the final place for this podcast is going to be on the Stream Levels Twitch. So be sure to check that out as well. Apart from that, for ourselves, I guess I can continue into that. I am Twinkie Talks. So this is my co-host, Lord Funk or Funk. He has so many names and so many places. We talk about this a lot, but
We'll just keep it at funk.
if you want to catch me, I have a YouTube channel. I'm currently not streaming regularly on Twitch because I'm trying to get my internet situation sorted out. But you can go follow me on twitch.tv/twinkietalks. Otherwise, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm most active. If you're on Twitter, just search for Twinkie Talks TV on Twitter. I am on there constantly. That's probably like, if you don't want to be a part of my Discord, you don't want to be a part of my community, and just want to kind of interact with me, just hit me up on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. I will most likely get back to you at some point on Twitter. And just like, that's where you find me. What about you, Funk?
You can follow me on Twitter, Funks with it, at Funks with it. I don't really put my Instagram because I don't really go on there. I have my Discord since it's on my channel. If you want to do exclamation mark Discord to join that one. I do have YouTube. I do game reviews in the Funk blog as well as also inthefunk.com. So yeah, if you want to support me there, I have my next game review coming up here shortly, which is going to be the Outward game that we played yesterday. We're probably going to play a little bit more of it tomorrow, maybe. I'm not quite sure yet, but that's the next game review that's coming up. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and follow me on those, I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I think with all that being said, we're coming to the end.
So thank you again, everybody, for coming by, and be sure to keep the conversation going. Keep keep talking to us about what a good community is and whatever. And we'll still probably always be talking about this, but yeah, thank you everyone for coming by, contributing. You're all amazing. You're all perfect, and I'll let Funk do the ending. So see you guys. Bye.
Little technical issues. There is actually no ending screen, so I don't know what happened with it. So it just kind of broke apparently. So I will catch everyone else later. Y'all take it easy.